Ladies and gentlemen, and after this, you hear this guy's music for the first time. What a loss for you. Colin James, what a tremendous artist in Canadian history. The reason why we're doing him today, there's a certain song that's showing back up in recent days called I Just Came Back to Say Goodbye. And when you see the video, I don't want to give it away, but you can figure it out. A guy comes back on his ex girlfriend's wedding day and basically tells everybody what she's really like. Now, Colin James, born Colin James Munn, August 1764 in Regina. He plays mostly blues rock and came pretty well out of nowhere to be, at one point, the greatest blues player in Canada. Now, born in Regina, his grandfather was Serbian. He quit school in grade 10. He got his big break, his music career opening for, get this, Stevie Ray Vaughn in Regina in 1984, when the scheduled opening act did not show. He only had a few hours' notice to put together a set of blues standards with members from the local Regina band Flying Colors. Vaughn invited James to perform with him during the encore and then joined his tour as a permanent opening act. He and his band, the Hoodoo Men, opened for Vaughn for several tour dates in the States. According to legend, Vaughn himself suggested the stage name Colin James because when announced over the arena PA systems, Munn sounded like mud. James also played guitar in Richard Marx's song Thunder and Lightning. In '88, following his association with Vaughn, James released his self-titled debut album, which yielded several international hit singles, as did the follow-up Sudden Stop. He presaged the mid-1980s swing music revival with his Colin James and a Little Big Band project, which released a successful first CD in '93, with a follow-up gold record in '98, a third disc in 2006, and a Christmas album in 2007. Now, James' worldwide popularity waned somewhat in the late 1990s, but he continued to release albums in rock, blues, and acoustic styles. In 2005, he gave a command performance for Queen Elizabeth II during her visit to his home province of Saskatchewan. And there was no thought, I think she jangled her jewelry, say like John Lennon. She really enjoyed it. Now, James' backing band frequently includes members of the Vancouver-based band The Odds, well known for Heterosexual Man. He has co-written songs with odd singer guitarist Craig Northey. And in February 2005, James guest starred in the episode of the TV program Corner Gas, a popular Canadian sitcom based in rural Saskatchewan. In 2007, James' album Limelight received a gold record for sales in Canada. In January 2008, he received 3 Toronto Blues Society Maple Blues Awards, Entertainer of the Year, Electric Act of the Year, Recording of the Year for Colin James and Little Big Band 3. In 2009, James recorded the album Rooftops and Satellites with, among others, former Junkhouse frontman Tom Wilson. Now, the album was co-produced, engineered, and mixed by Mike Fraser at the Warehouse Studio in Vancouver. Now, James' 2016 album Blue Highways spent 10 weeks at number 1 on the Roots Music Reports Blues chart following his debut and appeared in Living Blues magazine's top 50 albums of that year. Its follow-up, Miles to Go, was released in September 2018 to equal acclaim, entering the top 10 blues charts in Canada, USA, UK, and Austria. Now, what Colin James' style is like, basically, it's not really party music. There's a little bit of rock and roll, a little bit of romance, little bit of what he called swing revival, jump blues, blues rock. Now, James' 2016 album, again, spent 10 weeks on the charts, and that was his last big play on the current style. Now, James and his beautiful wife Heather have been married since '89. They have 2 grown children and live in the great area of suburban Vancouver. So, key albums, studio albums, his original and Colin James in '88, Colin James and a Little Big Band in '93, Sudden Stop, of course, 1990, and Fuse in 2000. Now, he did 25 Live, a live album in 2013, and a compilation album then again came out in '95. Guest appearances included with Long John Baldry, the Chieftains, Don Freed, Long John Baldry again, J.W. Jones Blues Band, and Craig Northey and Jesse Valenzuela and Northey Valenzuela. Now, the single that really, really broke him, and he did a really good job with this, was 5 Long Years on Bumstead Records in '86. That was his big break. I think at the time he was only, 22, 21. So, I mean, a great early performance. Now, of course, big songs that came, Why July, Back in My Arms Again, of course, just came back with Now, he's toured extensively and has been recognized by his peers in many ways through the years. He has been nominated for 17 Juno Awards, winning 7 of them. And ironically, his first one came in '89, 3 years after his initial album for Most Promising Male Vocalist of the Year. '91 was the big one. He won Single of the Year for Just Came Back, and it was Male Vocalist of the Year. 5 years later, it was Male Vocalist of the Year again. '98 Best Blues Album for National Steel. '99 Best Producer for Let's Shout and Come On with the Come On with Colin James and Little Big Band 2. And 2009, the Blues Album of the Year for Miles Ago, which ironically was 20 years after his last Juno. Now, he was nominated for Canadian Entertainer of the Year in '89, '91, '92. '91 nominated for Best Blues Gospel Album for Colin James and a Little Big Band. '95 nominated for Male Vocalist of the Year. '96 Best Video nomination for Freedom. '98 Best Male Vocalist nomination. '99 Best Blues Album for Colin James, Little Big Bang 2. Blues Album of the Year 2007 for Colin James and Little Big Band 3. 2013 Blues Album of the Year for 15. Of course, 2017 nomination for Blues Album of the Year for Blue Highways in 2017. Now, Colin James has been nominated for 20 Maple Blues Awards between '97 and 2018. Now, again, Colin James, not for everybody, but that Canadian blues explosion of the '80s and '90s, which lasted a number of years. And you might as well say, certain key artists as well. Tremendous performer, tremendous artist. Everybody, that's the only song, if you play at a wedding, half the people's going to dance and half people's going to leave. Just Came Back is probably one of the most dirtiest revenge songs of all time. And you wouldn't expect a very calm and very handsome Canadian like he is would ever have a woman leave him. But, it's like the Northern Pikes. She ain't pretty, she looks that way. There was a lot of weird kind of Canadian comedic relationship songs and singles of the '80s and '90s. If you did a whole compilation, Heterosexual Man as well. I know it's a weird song. Dug in the Slugs, We should, by the way, that's a good thing. Canadian compilation, CanCon compilation of bad women songs, like male revenge songs, but in a good way, not like, I love it. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's a story of a very talented and a very, very internationally underrated Colin James, a marquee, a top 50 Canadian artist of all time, in my humble opinion, especially what he's done. Tremendous artist. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what we're doing here with our CanCon podcast on Canadian music and movies, let us know with a like, comment, subscribe, or share. But when's the last time you heard when someone used an expression, "I just came back to say goodbye"? He perfected that. I don't remember any international artist to have. It's so concise of a song, you could even, it's like an earworm. You hear it for the first time, and you see a bad relationship at a dance or whatever, that's what comes in your mind. And, she ain't pretty. She just looks that way. Thanks for listening. Bye.